white man and a guest in the culture, taking accountability, showing remorse, or even giving a basic apology. He decided not to give a single fuck.
Okay, so that's the first thing I don't agree with. But you, if you ever listen to this, I love you, I respect you. It was not to be disrespectful. Let's not make it a Abbas TV situation, you know. I'm just saying. Because I don't have like 87,000 views to lose. I don't have it, so let's not do that. And I'm not going to delete a couple of my videos. Oh my god. Okay, I'm about to make a crazy video, so I apologize in advance. I am not here to diss anybody. I'm about to talk about Jew Almighty. You know, the guy always starts in the middle of his video introducing himself saying, but I'm Jew. I don't know why he always says that. I love it.
But I'm Jew, welcome.
Okay, I like the brother. I love him a lot. He's a brother. I love him. I love everybody else, like Illogic, What's TV, Random University. Those are my bros. I love them. But I don't agree with one of the videos that he recently did. And the title of that video is Rory just got exposed for being a versus. He's done. So I watched that video multiple times because when I was listening to it, there are a couple of things that just bothered me when I listened to some points, like, you know, point of views and some. And I really want to address it because, you know, when I really like enjoy people and they say stuff that I'm like, I gotta give my 2 cents about it. But before we start, hi guys, Faceless here. I hope everybody good, fine, happy, healthy. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share, and tell me what you think in the comment section once you're finished watching this. So the video starts, and there's this little part, so we're gonna play that little part real quick.
I'm tired of these guests in the culture disrespecting black people.
You're a fucking monkey. You're a fucking black monkey.
Yeah, no, I hate black women. I think all black women are ugly.
Rory from Rory and Maul, formerly the Joe Budden podcast, just got exposed for racist, anti-black tweets disrespecting black women.
These tweets that are resurfacing can be hurtful, and I think you being the
Hurtful
person
to
that
who,
you
though?
are. Sorry?
Hurtful to who? Who's hurt by those tweets?
Black women.
And instead of Rory, a white man and a guest in the culture, taking accountability, showing remorse, or even giving a basic apology, he decided not to give a single fuck.
Okay, so that's the first thing I don't agree with. But before I actually give my opinion, I'm going to put a prelude. You can actually jump to what I really think about, like the Jew video. You can jump, but this is going to be called Prelude, so you can actually understand why my opinion when I get to the video is I am somebody who has a dad that is from Africa, so I am from Africa. I was born myself in Africa. I grew up there. On my mom's side, I have a bit of European side, and at some point I find myself in America. So obviously, when you're not living in America, there are a couple of things that you'll just go like, oh, come on, why this and that. And when you start living in America, you can understand a bit more of why somebody would feel how they feel, especially the Black Americans. As I always said, and if you've never been here, I do believe that Black Americans have been people who really have pushed change of injustice out there, not only for other Black people around the globe, but for anybody else. Like when something is not okay, people speak up. People speak up. Is it the best thing? Like, is it the best way in America? I don't think so, because, you know, like in this throughout this year, a lot of nationalities have revolted. Went through revolution. Nepal, like all the young people of Nepal just stood up and decided, we don't like this president anymore, BS, get out of here. In Madagascar, they did the same thing. In Morocco, well, the king is still there, but I mean, people are really showing those very rich people who I think at the end of the day are the people who are just messing the world. Trumping his friends, you know, they don't even give a ish about us, but this again in another video, we're gonna talk about that. But again, I want to give that flower to Black people. Black people have done a lot when it comes to, you know, went through slavery like the rest of Africa. I always say that people were slave in Africa and people were slave here. So everybody got mistreated, but I give it to Black Americans for the fight that they have and they're still having. So I can understand why sometimes Black Americans react the way they react. Having that said, when is it too much? You know, he just stated, and I'm going to replay this, he didn't even have like a decent apology. Why should you apologize? Does it matter for a guy like Rory, a very, very ugly person, by the way, this is what his face looks like. I mean, I wouldn't date the guy, and I'm black, you know, and I've dated white people before, I've dated other people before, I've dated black people before, but I wouldn't date this guy ugly. It doesn't matter if he's a billionaire tomorrow morning, I wouldn't be interested. I agree with a couple of things that he said, by the way. It's not all the video that I disagree. But I just feel that every time that things happen, people just sit out there, oh my God, they owe us an apology, they owe us this, I mean, this is us, and this. Who gives a... Because the problem with us, the big problem with us, and he actually stated that, is that a lot of people are still going to go and listen to this kind of person. You have people still listening to Vlad TV. At some point, you know, brother Gary Owens, you know, it wasn't that bad, but at some point we were looking at him like sideways, like, are you for real? Like, no. So for me, when I don't care canceling, like, I don't mind canceling somebody out, because, you know, I think that if you're just that narcissist, you're not my person. You should not get a single cent out of me, because to me that is just crazy. This guy was like, at some point he and his other black friend was like, oh, this was a fake tweet for like a fake retweet from like 12 years ago, who should give a...
Nobody was hurt, nobody's children didn't eat last night as a result of tweets that you tweeted, fake tweets 12 years ago.
But there were some people that were generally just looking for an answer. And I apologize for being dismissive to those. So I do apologize, because I did come off dismissive to some people that did not deserve that were just saw something out of context and was like, yo, what's up with this?
They don't get a view from me, but the people that support their platform, that enable them to have a platform, to make millions of dollars, to be famous, are the ones that need to hold them accountable. And clearly they didn't give a fuck about black people, about their feelings, about them being offended, about how he was coming off. He said in his own words, condescending and dismissive, and that's 100% what it was.
I have never tweeted or retweeted something like this. Even if I'm drunk, I wouldn't retweet something like that. Because it's crazy. It shows you that, A, you don't have empathy, you don't understand it. And this thing about black women to always being like the bottom of the joke is just crazy to me. Like, I know that people were always like, you know, some people are always like, oh, black women so loud, black people with their weeds, black people with their nails, black people, and they always like complain about the this and that and this and that. First off, I hate when people say all black people or white people. I hate those sentences. I always start my video saying everybody is different. There's not a single group of people where everybody bad. You can't say all American people are bad. You can't say all French people are bad. You can't say all people from UK are bad. You can't even say all people from Iran or Saudi Arabia are bad. Because there's always a good people among all those bad people if you consider them bad people. All white people cannot be bad. All black people cannot be bad. All Asian people cannot be bad. It's stupid to say that, and it's very dangerous, because the fact that people do that all the time, especially for black people, when something happens, they're like, oh, black people. And it's put on all of us, by the way, that they don't care. I always say that. If somebody actually is an narcissist, it doesn't matter if you're originally from Africa, if you're from Brazil, if you're from America, if you're from Canada. If you're black, the person is not going to like you. But we also have this thing where we try to like dissociate ourselves from each other. We're like, ooh, I'm African, I'm not like those black Americans, or black Americans, ooh, African people, we don't like them, they just eat funny things, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about that maybe in another video, but not today. But the reality is, when somebody like this enters the room, enters the chat, enters the space, which again, we're going to talk about the space thing in a minute. A black space in a minute, and the person is that weird, we owe to each other to cancel that person, to make sure that no matter what, we're not watching. No matter what, our coins are not going to enter that person's pocket. I don't care if he apologized or not. He meant it. He meant it at some point. Even if he didn't mean it, he thought that it was funny. At some point, it was like, oh, this is funny, let me retweet it. You know, like, you know, those white university guy that always drink beer and get drunk and be like, oh my God, what's that? That kind of way. Even if he retweeted when he was in that state, it means somewhere in his mind, this man thought that those tweets were funny enough for him to retweet it. And he still thinks it, because he didn't apologize. But for me, when you apologize for those kind of things because you're under pressure, you don't mean it. You're just apologizing to make sure that, you're not losing your money, To me, that is what it is. You're just apologizing for that. You don't mean it, so I don't want you to apologize. I don't know why we concentrate on wanting people like that to apologize, because they don't mean it. They just want you guys to keep watching and for them to keep making that coin. Second thing I didn't like from my brother Jew that I love, again, don't go out. First, I didn't even say this, but go there, go to his channel and, subscribe. Subscribe to him, subscribe to me. Go there and subscribe. This is a great guy. There's a lot of great people out here doing their thing. Obviously, Antonio Speak is one of them. Young Don React is one of them. Go support all these brothers. I mean, they're very, very, very intelligent. Love how they speak. Obviously, Abin Preach, Okay. Second thing he talked about was the black space thing. Letting everybody enter the black space. I understand that, space is important. Like, women's space is important. I'm one of those people who absolutely despise entering a bathroom and seeing somebody, a trans woman who believes that they belong there. To me, it's a hell's no. It doesn't matter how Democrat I am. This is the thing that is a hells to the no. I disagree. If I see you there, or we're about to have a fight. You say that you're a woman, let me whoop you, because you don't belong there. You have a pee-pee. Go where people have pee-pees on the other side, because we have a vajayjay. We don't need you in here. We don't know if you're tricking to get something out of it. We don't want it. We're not going to take it. So I do understand different spaces. There are black spaces. But to me, the thing is, some people use that term black spaces too much to not only lock themselves away from people, but the issue that I have, again, I apologize if somebody's going to be upset about this, because I just want people to understand this. There are a lot of things that black people use that are not black owned, that are not black based, created by a black person. And we use them. We use YouTube, we watch TV, we do a lot of things. And all of a sudden, when a black person makes something, like the black space that people talk about on Twitter, those are black space and you're not supposed to get there. And sometimes they have those white space where Myron the moron decide to go and participate because he believes in his mind that is white. He said it multiple times. But these things where people are, we're going to create a black industries, or black this and a black that. Most of the time, they're not only black. Last week, when there was the fight between Roland Martin and Charlemagne, Martin actually told Charlemagne this, you're owned by white folks, so you can't really say what you want to say. I can say whatever I want to say because I own my ish. But the thing is, also when we own our ish, and I'm going to talk about this other Dr. Rashid. Dr. Rashid sometimes come out as somebody who just complaining, because sometimes it's just that, they're coming into things, they're giving their opinion, we are letting them in, and they start using the words. Obviously, to me, nobody should use that word in a bad way. I don't really use it, but I do feel that if you're using it, everybody should be allowed to use it. Because again, if you're like a history teacher and you're trying to teach history and you're white and you're not allowed to say the N-word, that is kind of just stupid to me. But just always having this space where people are not allowed in our spaces, but we're allowed to actually give opinion on every white people out there, on any white person out there, it is awkward. Because I've heard some white people say this, you guys seems always to be artists yourself, because you keep telling people, don't talk about black women, don't talk about black things, don't talk about black this. But we're always talking about people, and it's weird. I can understand, again, with the history that, black people have had on this earth, I can understand that, sometimes you need to protect yourselves and not trust anybody and everybody. I understand that part. But even that freedom that we got, there were some white folks supporting the freedom of black people. There were some Asian people out there on the bridge supporting Dr. Martin Luther King on that bridge. And I think that sometimes in 2025, to still have this thing where We're always, calling somebody else because somebody will like, oh, I don't want to date a black girl. We don't care. We don't want to date you either. And you can move on and go towards people who still don't listen to you. I will never listen to them. I didn't know that dude before I watched the video of Jew. I ain't never gonna go and search for it. Actually, even on this video, I just put picture of his face. But I'm never going to actually go and watch something that they do. For me, you just known and cancel. Same day, same minute. Because I think it's crazy. But we gotta be careful about all those black space because it's now turning around. Like, again, I feel like if white people were saying the exact same thing, black people are not including here, we will call that orism, as we know. But when we do it and white people are like, oh, this is also orism, then we get upset. And to me, this is something that is a bit awkward because yes, I don't think that people make rap music for other people to not listen to it. It's stupid. For me, one of the best rappers on the planet is Eminem. Let's give it to him. He grew up watching all these black men, LL Cool J, Dr. Dre, blah, 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 do their thing. And he was like, I want to do this. He has never come out disrespecting any black person that I know of. I've never heard him saying the N-word. I don't think he's one of those people. But we love him nevertheless. You have to stop saying like, oh, this is only white owned or this is a space for only black people. Yes, again, we should share and respect and know and learn more about our histories. And I say that because obviously there is a lot of things to know about black people on earth in general. The story of a black American is very different of the story of a black Brazilian, of a black Mexican, of a black person living in Dubai that is considered an Emirati. There are different stories to that. From black people in Africa, different countries of Africa. 54 countries, everybody different. But we have to be careful how we put the narrative out there because sometimes it feels so awkward. Like, oh, we don't want people to enter our space, but we're always in other people's spaces. We talk about Trump every day. I talk about Trump. I don't care. I talk about everybody. But if somebody is awkward and being racist on any side, because I've seen black people being like super racist with white people, I will also cancel you. It's not because you're a black person that I will support that nonsense. I'll be like, no, dismissed. Thank you. Dismissed. It doesn't matter who you are. I just hate orism. It's just crazy. And I think this is where I'm going to stop this video. Like, we have to just make sure that we can start being Martin Luther King. Black people, white people, everybody can just find a way to just live together. Because I think that in the last decades, especially from the first time Trump was president, we have really, really left that train. And it's weird. It's really weird looking at people and always coming and sitting and be like, white people did this, and white people will be like, black people are always saying this and this and that. No, we have to stop it because America is one of those countries, most influenced country on the planet. And those bad behaviors, there are great things. There are great things in America. There are great things in America. But those bad side, they're now affecting a lot the rest of the world. You can see those kind of thoughts happening out there. It used to be we just love music, we just love the way people dress, we just love the cultures, the different cultures, but nowadays, even those bad things, when you're outside Africa, when you're even in Africa and you hear some people, I heard at some point people from Somalia saying, we're not Africans, we're Somalians. And I was like, what? Or we're not black, or something like that. It's just crazy. It's stupid. We are black. We have black skin. We are black. We are the original black people. So, I mean, people are black just because they came from Africa. So when you hear stuff like this, it just goes like, oh, people just want to say ish to just say ish. It is crazy. To me, again, this is not a diss video. This is me expressing my opinion. You, if you ever listen to this, I love you, I respect you. It was not to be disrespectful. Let's not make it a Abbas TV situation, I'm just saying. Because I don't have like 87,000 views to lose. I don't have it, so let's not do that. And I'm not going to delete a couple of my videos, but I've never actually made videos that were crazy, so normally I shouldn't delete anything. Anyway, that was my opinion about this. It was a bit long. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share. Do not forget to go to Jew and subscribe to his channel. I will see you in the next one. Faceless out. Ciao, ciao, ciao.